This is the inaugural voyage of the After the Bell podcast. I don't know if we have a captain. Is there a captain
No,
speaking?
there is a captain. It's always me.
Yeah, okay. I'm not your captain speaking.
Yeah, you're once again like this rebellious and troublesome first mate who always speaks without permission.
More like the little kid who's like,
Yeah, your first mate on my ship. I made a 10-year-old second in charge. I was like, man, this seems like the right move.
Yeah, all you rough dudes have to do what this little kid says.
Why? He's an ideas man.
Man, it's happened before, and they've had children in charge of navies. Look it up. Look it up.
Did you just read Ender's Game? Is that what happened? And now you're getting that confused with reality?
Man, I certainly hope not.
Man, okay.
Man, look it up anyway. There's like
you sound like Eddie Bravo right now.
Man, there's like an 8-year-old kid.
Children secretly run the Navy. Look it up.
Maybe he was 12.
That's all I'm saying.
No, he wasn't. He got promoted to admiral because he won a battle or some shit.
Hmm.
And then, man, I don't know what happened really, like in the details.
How old do you think Genghis Khan was when he was just like, fucking, I'm in charge?
I mean, probably less than 15.
Yeah, I feel like not much more than 13 or 14, yeah.
Yeah, man, so...
And in his head, at that point, he wasn't just in charge. He was like, I'm in charge of wherever I am.
Yeah.
Forever.
Like, and nobody knows it yet. How do I get them to understand?
Probably going to have to kill him.
Bring me women, bring me wine.
But yeah, we are here with episode 1 of the After the Bell podcast. And
it's round 1.
It is, man. It's not the episode 1 that we were hoping it was going to be.
No, all that work.
The excitement, the anticipation. When should we start?
Oh. No, just now. We'll just make it up on the spot.
I think. But all that prep.
Are you still gutted?
I'm not happy. Every time I think about what we could have had, I get sad. But I'm trying to think about what we do have, which is pretty good.
Man, I keep thinking that, like, on some, like, old calendar or some lunar calendar, it's April Fool's today, and they're going to be like,
They announced it on fucking April Fool's.
Yeah, I know,
but
so, I don't know.
Then they would have been early then on this weird lunar calendar of yours. Unless now we're dealing in, like, Venus days, which, in terms of Earth days, go for longer or something. Maybe it's Mars. I'm not good at space. I'm bad at space.
There's certainly a planet out there whereby that analogy works.
Indeed. I've got the moon. Even the moon.
It's just always in the same spot.
Yeah. But just...
Every day is April Fool's.
A fantastic beginning, really, I think, to our podcast. That we're 1-2 days out from like, all right, we're going to start this thing, we're going to do this thing. It's like, yeah, the thing you were going to talk about, that's not happening anymore.
Yeah, the thing everyone's talking about is now another thing that everybody's talking about, which is Tony Ferguson's knee.
Tony Ferguson tripping inside, wearing sunglasses inside.
Tripping on a stool.
A cable? I heard it was
I believe it's a cable. This is why you have gaffer tape, people. Where's your roadies?
That's
Tape that shit down.
They were blaming him
what
for
are you,
wearing,
amateurs?
They were blaming him for wearing sunglasses inside, and I'm like, nah, this is a backstage person's fault.
Man.
Why aren't you tying those things down?
You have tape.
Yeah.
You've got the... Who the fuck is running this show? Oh, the tape wouldn't stick to the carpet.
WME, IMG... The new owners.
Get them back. Where's your cable trays? Fuck me. Spending all your money on Burger King.
Ah, God, don't even get me started with the Burger King. He did not stay ready.
But, I mean, the shining light to this dark, dark cloud would have to be Max Holloway.
Oh, look, it's great that just someone has stepped in. We'll get to Max at some point, but let's just stay in the darkness for a moment. This is the 4th time this has happened. I've gone in to have a look at this. This was first scheduled to happen in December of 2015, over 2 years ago. And man, just the things that it was on a Tough 22 finale. That's when we were initially going to get it.
That in itself is...
2.5 years ago, they were just going to chuck this on television. Like, yeah, you guys can watch it. And that was Khabib had a rib injury. So, we'll cancel it. I think Tony ended up fighting Edson on that card.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Then you had, it was rescheduled 4 months later, so April 2016, for I think it was a Fox card.
April again.
Mm-hmm. Tony ends up having fluid in his lung.
Lung again.
Yeah. Well, rib, I guess. Yeah. Chest area again. So he goes down, he's out. Khabib ends up fighting, I think, Daryl Horcher on that card. Just fucking kills him. Poor old Daryl Horcher. Didn't need that.
Yeah, I heard people saying Horcher was like this big contender, and then he got...
No, he was in an accident or something, I think, a car accident, and he was out for a long time, and he came back, and he's a good fighter. But yeah, I think he had a big accident where he was told, if I'm thinking of the right guy, like he was not going to fight again and stuff.
Okay, well, more weirdness.
Mm-hmm. So then they're scheduled to fight again last year in March, and Khabib is fat.
Tiramisu Khabib.
Yeah.
For those who are in the loop of the memes.
Yeah. For those who aren't, let's just say that he had some weight issues, couldn't make the weight, so it falls out. So we reschedule again for this weekend. And Tony Ferguson trips on some fucking cables.
Yeah, but not only that, but it's like 3 weeks since the last card. Like it's a 3-week break in between cards.
Yeah.
It's the longest break we've had in between cards this year.
In 2 years.
Man, if it had happened last week, we just had gone like 2 weeks, man, maybe he doesn't trip on that cable and we've seen the fight already.
Oh, I'm not complaining about that though. Who could complain about the break?
Yeah,
if anyone is coming out being like, this is why we need MMA every fucking week, you are mistaken. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no.
Do not blame the break. All right, the break was wonderful and I enjoyed it very much.
Man, it was very healing for me. I recovered from my exhaustion from trying to keep up with 13 million fights.
Imagine, you got to watch stuff you liked. I watched Sitachai. Just an hour of solid Sitachai. It was wonderful. Oh, I forgot kickboxing was a thing. But it's just we talk about just this is the weirdest sport. Like this is the silliest. It's not even a sport really. It's almost it's kind of a sport.
Man,
but it's not.
It's up there with wrestling. I don't want to call it wrestling. I'm not saying it's not.
Wrestling has a connotation that it's not real. Like that's the biggest reason why it's not a sport. Whereas our thing is super duper real.
But it's silly.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and it's like the same. I'm a character. I'm a big tough fighter man.
It's almost that's in tune with how real it is. I feel like because it's like there are all these dorky rules in basketball and football because it's a stupid thing they're doing. Like this is all right, I'm gonna get in there and fuck you up. It's like, so what are we gonna do beforehand? I'm gonna be weird as shit. And it's like, all right then, well I'm gonna be weird as shit. And then the weirdest shit happens around that. Where it's like, I tripped on some cables and I can't fight. And you're like, well, what happens next? Because in boxing, nothing happens. But in MMA, fuck it, the show goes on. So we're going to grab someone else. And you just,
man, if you want
April Fool's Day, this happens.
Man, to make it more weird, now we've got the featherweight champion fighting the lightweight contender,
the number one
for a belt that already has 2.
Yes.
In a division that already has 2 belts.
Yeah, and neither one of these guys has one of them.
It's just like, what's going on? Are we about to have 3 champions in a
3
division?
lightweight champions.
3 current champions, although one of them's injured selling burgers? Chicken? Is it chicken? I don't know.
No, he's not injured. He's just chilling.
Man, he's doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah, he's just enjoying being rich.
He'll be back when UFC have figured out how to make $100 billion on a pay-per-view.
They're certainly not going to throw him in on a week's notice. Not against Khabib. Right?
Yeah, once you see that argument laid out, you're just like, oh yeah, there's no way it would happen.
Yeah, even his coach, man. I feel like Kavanaugh would be like, we ain't doing that.
Yeah.
We're gonna practice for a bit before we do that.
Yeah, we already sold the seats. Yeah. Like, imagine how much more they're worth now.
Mm-hmm.
You can't unsell them and then resell them back.
Yeah. Bring everyone up. Okay, I know you guys bought tickets to Khabib.
Sorry, it's cancelled, but if you want tickets, we've got on the same night that it was supposed to happen.
In the same arena at the same time.
You can have the same seat
for 10 times as much money. Depending, assuming you're in a nosebleed seat, if you're in a front row seat, 50 times as much money.
Yeah.
But man, not a good week for it. I mean, we lost Carl's Condit, Matt Brown, which we got,
I'm scared to check updates to see what else has fallen over in the meantime.
We got the other cowboy who's going to fight Condit. So
Medeiros?
No, Oliveira.
Brazilian
cowboy.
Brazilian cowboy.
Yeah.
Man, I get the fighters confused.
Well, they all have fought each other recently.
Yeah.
I think Yancey beat Brazilian cowboy.
Yeah.
And then he
Third
lost to
round knockout.
Cerrone.
That's
And
the good-
Cerrone's beaten Brazilian
That
cowboy
was
as
the
well.
first fight in UFC history where both fighters had 2 knockdowns.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
I think I saw that written somewhere. That was a super fun fight, man.
I'd have to check it. Yeah. It was alright.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll make you watch for the bet that you owe me.
Man, that's gone. You waited too long. That's gone. It's all over.
Man, that's fine.
People don't even know what we're talking about. All right, this is the real first episode. You don't win that bet anymore.
I don't get to win it again, do I? Oh no.
Now we're starting over. There's some practice bets.
Yeah, well, I was winning.
Indeed.
For the record, I was winning.
Yeah, you won the it doesn't count trophy 2-1. Man, but I thought it was an interesting thing in terms of the injuries this year. All 3 pay-per-views. Australia was the first one. Supposed to be Whittaker.
Whittaker.
We lost him.
Staph infection.
And then 222, we lost Max.
With the ankle. But now he's good enough to fight Khabib.
Yeah, he got cleared like 2 weeks ago. Reason number whatever that I don't think he's going to do great. Even though he's a fucking madman and totally could do it.
We love you, Max.
Love you heaps, Max.
Good luck out there, buddy.
Hope you win. But it's not been a good year for that, has it?
No.
Now you're losing, another fireworks fight in Condit and Matt Brown.
What happened there?
Something happened to Matt Brown. I can't remember now.
So many
I
things.
don't even think I could bring myself to read the article. You just read the headline and start crying again just after I pulled myself together from the Ferguson news.
He was trying to make a video of himself fighting a bull.
Probably. But not...
He died taking a selfie?
Man.
That happens a bit too often these days.
He's the immortal, so he came right back. It's just going to be out for a while. Man, people dying taking a selfie, that's because Mother Earth was like, there aren't enough people living under coconut trees anymore.
Yeah, all these coconuts are missing.
I gotta figure out
nets on my trees.
I gotta figure out how to kill these idiots.
Man, that's like climbing up to a building, climbing out on a pole, hanging off it from one arm.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take a selfie. Oh, wait, I want to wave. That's it, man.
It was just like...
Nature wins.
Yeah, they watch those videos of those crazy Russian guys, free climbing. And like, I could do that. And just crawling out on, an American flag pole that's only, 3 stories up, but they land on, a concrete street divider on the way down or something. Just something horrible.
Folded in half.
Yeah. Did you get a good picture of it? Man, I hope so. I hope you got a solid picture of you falling to your death.
Just this blur.
Can't even do that right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just tough news to deal with.
Man, why can't we have nice things?
But it's that is there must be something about it. MMA, where we're just not allowed to have the thing we want.
There's some bad juju there. So, I've heard the argument that if we want to see if we want to see Tony fight Khabib, then what we have to do is not talk about it or be interested in it at all until they're in the cage.
See,
then we can all just lose our shit.
Yeah, we're getting into I need to wear the same underwear 50 times. You know what I mean?
If I hold my hands like this.
Yeah, Dana's out there saying, I'm never going to book this fight again. Shut up, stupid. You'd book it next week if you could.
Yeah.
We all want to see it still. Nobody's sitting around being like, that's it. I've had enough of these two. Keep getting injured. I don't want to see this anymore. No, we're all just annoyed again. We're like, fuck. how much longer do I have to wait? Because I want to, especially if they keep winning. I mean, if Khabib goes out there and wins, and then Tony comes back and fights whoever, let's say the winner of Poirier-Gaethje, and then wins that, and Connor's still out there like, oh, maybe.
Where are you at, Nate?
Yeah. Where's Floyd at? Like,
he's like, oh, I'm a welterweight now, but I'm not fighting Woodley. So
where are you at?
Till
GSP. Like,
Bisbing, man, you want to retire? No,
Yeah.
there's not enough money in that. What am
man,
I talking about?
They could be.
John Jones comes back, but he has to be like,
One arm tied behind his back.
no, it's just at welterweight. So he's just bones.
John Jones. John Jones just gets on the scale looking completely like John Jones, and it's just the scale is just like reads 170. Jones just looking at Connor like, it's like I cheated at this too, bitch.
You think I stopped cheating?
I've just gotten better at it.
Man, cheaters don't stop cheating.
That seems like a thing that doesn't happen. But yeah, it's just, man, it's sad. It's sad that we don't get this fight. But I want it. I'm not a part of any group that's like.
Well, I mean, at least it gives us something interesting to talk about next week, because the result of this fight, depending on which way it goes, opens up some weird pathways and some possibilities.
I feel like only if Max wins.
Man, I feel like if Khabib wins, Khabib could be like, yeah, I'm going to go up and fight Woodley. And I'd be totally into that.
He's not. He's going to fight McGregor. If he wins, he's going to fight Conor. He knows where the money is, man. Like, he's been out there talking like he has to be a contender if I win. Fuck off.
Man, I would like Khabib a lot more if he just went, you know what, I've got this belt, I'm going after Woodley. McGregor's like, what?
I wouldn't, because I'm sick of this, for starters. Max Holloway's doing this because we've got no other choices. Like, no. No, you're not going up. Defend your fucking world title.
What if he misses weight 3 more times?
He made championship weight. If he makes championship weight in 4 days, he can make it again. And if he doesn't, then he's stripped of the belt.
What happens if he doesn't make it in 4 days?
Man, then he can't win the title.
Then so only Max can win?
Yeah. And then I'd be fine with sending him up. But he ain't fighting Woodley. He's got to fight somebody else before he gets anywhere near Woodley. Even if he wins. It's like, no. You're too fat. You got to prove it now. You got to go out there and beat a contender. Which I'll be fine with that.
Like, that's interesting. Like, interesting but weird doors. But even
yeah.
better than that is if Max wins, and then you've got two division champions who fought each other before, who could fight each other again.
And they're champions of the same divisions.
Yeah, like McGregor versus Holloway 2 is the idea of that to me is just sexy as hell. And I'm not a big Conor McGregor guy, but that fight to me is like, yeah, man. What's Holloway got now? Like, I really like Max Holloway. He's been out there fighting.
Man, I'm into that and having a.
He beat Aldo twice.
Easy. Not easy, but man, pretty easy.
Man, 3rd round stoppages both times.
Man, he handled him. Well, I mean, if you want to talk just about Max, like he's taken this. Like, if he wins this, man, it's incredible, considering how much is going against him.
I mean, I know why he said yes to the fight. Like, it's
a shot.
This opportunity is never going to happen again.
Yeah, you get to go into the history books in one night. You get to steal all the money
and all of Conor McGregor's accolades.
Yeah. And just you get that money fight. You just jump the queue ahead of everyone, and you're like, all right, Irishman, get in here. You're fighting me again. And yeah, I don't think.
And it's one of those, like, that pay-per-view would be so big that it would be enough to get McGregor in there, I think. It would be, man, it'd be up there.
Man, it'd be interesting because, the double champ versus the double champ.
It's never happened before.
Man, it's too weird of a thing to have ever happened before. How can, there's like, this guy has 2 belts, and this guy has 2 belts, except this guy's 2 belts are the same as that guy's 2 belts.
They have the same 2 belts.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah.
Well, not really.
And it's like, who do you count as the real champion? Like, man, here's the thing.
Let's find out.
At featherweight, Max. At lightweight, sort of still Conor. But if Max beats Khabib, then I'm like, probably Max also. Like, I would
It's
think,
weird,
like,
right?
yeah, it's,
They have to fight then.
oh,
You just feel like, okay, we need
yeah,
to know.
this fight still has the same prize at the end of the tunnel, which is McGregor. Like,
Man, well, interesting way of putting it. I don't disagree.
yeah, that's what he is. He's a prize. He's lots and lots of money.
And how did he do that? What a fucking leprechaun.
Man, he had a pretty good run for a couple of years there.
Yeah, and just pulled a pot of gold out his ass. But man, hats off to him. Hats off to the man.
Indeed.
Let's talk about this again next week once we've got a little bit more detail.
Well, like I said, man, you got to respect the Max Holloway. Such a risk. Because that's the other thing. People are like, oh, he's got nothing to lose. Like, no. He's got, like, Khabib could hurt you, for starters, right out the gate. Like, this could go bad. And then it's just, like, this dude has won, like, 12 fights in a row. He's putting that on the line. That's a huge deal, man, that wave of confidence that he's riding.
Man, maybe just to some guys, maybe not so much to other guys.
Man, you can't tell me it's not. You can't tell me you don't have that driving you the whole time. Like, man,
I think
another one down. And I think losing might affect people differently, losing it.
Man, I think that,
but I don't think
the physical harm is a bigger factor in the decision.
That's always a bigger factor. But
where it's like, oh, what happened? It's like, oh, he just goes to sleep whenever you touch him, or like
just something gets twisted the wrong way, or gets a bad cut that doesn't heal right. Like, there's so much stuff that can go wrong. And yeah, people are like, oh, nothing to look like, dude. You go fight Khabib Nurmagomedov on 6 days' notice.
Yeah, that's balls out. Man. Yeah, that's balls out.
Take a day-long flight to get here too. Like, you're flying from fucking Hawaii to Brooklyn, and then get off that plane, cut 30 pounds, and fight the most deadly fucking guy in the division above yours. And Max Holloway shrugs. He's like, yeah, sure.
Like, sounds great.
When did my fucking ankle get a cast taken off of it? Like, you got fully cleared 2 weeks ago. And you're just like,
fully cleared, baby.
Yeah, fully cleared means I'm ready to go.
First class, right?
Yeah.
No, fucking private, bitch. That's what I'd be saying. You flying me out there private, like.
Even
man, I hope he got money. I hope he got back for that.
So do I. He better, man. You certainly hope he's getting paid a lot for this. And then, Khabib out there he's got to just, this is the other reason why I think it favours him. Khabib has to change basically nothing. Like, what do you got to do now? Go out there, take him down, beat the shit out of him. It's like, wow, that sounds pretty similar to what you were going to do to Tony. Yep. Max is probably less dangerous than Tony off his back. I could believe Max is maybe better at, like, cancelling you out on his back. Like, maybe he can be a little more neutralising.
I think where Max is going to be better is just
takedown defense.
Not even like the takedown defense in terms of like defending the grappling, but in terms of managing the range with his strikes and just putting Nurmagomedov in a position where he has to question every time he's trying to come in.
It's tricky with Khabib because he's just going to walk in. Like, you know that, right? Like, it's like, oh, this is the range, and Khabib's like, yeah, I'm going to walk into your range. Like, you can hit me, it's fine. I'm just going to walk in and take you down. But the question is, can Max hit him clean?
Well, he's long.
Man, it's
how
like he's got a chance. He's definitely got a chance.
Starts putting the pressure on, starts taking it to Khabib. Khabib's like, well, hey, hang on, whoa.
But,
man, I think it's all going to be about range, that fight anyway. If it's long, it's Max. If it's short, good night. Khabib's got you.
I'll go even more basic and just say that fight it's almost in like McGregor territory. It's like, man, if it's on the feet, it's Max. If it's off the feet, it's Khabib. If they stay standing, Khabib is dead. He can't trade with Max.
That's what I'm saying.
But you can't trade with Tony either. That's just meant Tony, like Max. Max can keep him off him better.
Yeah, I feel like, and Tony's got that.
Tony will engage.
He's got that unpredictability too, where he'll expose himself where he doesn't have to, just to be like fluid and attacking and like in his fighting persona of. Was it El
Kukui.
El Kukui?
The boogeyman.
Is that what he thinks of himself when he's in there? Like he just switches into this like, wow.
That's the real boogeyman right there. None of this silly fucking boogie woman is coming.
Man, but you have to think that the psychology of some of those high level fighters is something, you know, similar to like a split personality.
Tony's a fucking nutcase all the time though.
They can just like
yeah, but like then you see him out of the cage.
Like, but you imagine his flow though. Like,
yeah, but again, out of the cage, it's the same. It's just the mad ramblings of, you know, like I said, it's like, yeah, this guy's just waiting until you let him kill someone. Like, it's just, that's what this sounds like to me. Whereas, like, I do everything in my own way. I built my own gym. Up there, kicking posts and shit like a fucking dickhead. Wondering why my knee blows out when I trip over cables. Like, oh, just, I don't know. I see what you're saying, but I'm like, look how it didn't work for Joanna, did it?
Yeah, but you know, you can pretend to have it and like not be it. Like I'm talking about the clinical definition of like you know, an alter ego that you kind of like split into or something.
I hear you.
We just like in that moment you're like this hurting monster.
Man, so like I remember. Do you ever see the awesome Tyson video where he talks about walking from the back to the ring?
Man, no.
Oh, it's great.
But is it like all about his mindset?
Yeah.
I can imagine that from a guy like Tyson. Like his smack talk was like mental.
Yeah. He's great at it. People are like, Tyson's bad at it. I'm like, dude, I'm
bonkers, man.
My defense is impervious. My style is impetuous. I want your heart. I'm going to eat your children. Like, whoa, where did that come from?
Yeah, that's a man who's in a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
He's just like, yep, I'm a beast right now.
Oh, yeah. But so he's talking about it and he's going, like, I'll give you the gist of it. You look it up after we're done. It's fucking great. But he's talking about, like, how he's in the back and he's terrified. You know, he's like, man, I'm thinking about all the things that could go wrong, all the things that this guy could do to me, how long he's been training for, all this. And he's like, you know, they tell me to get up and get ready, though, and I start feeling like a little more confident. Like, you know, I start thinking about all the things I've done and all this. And he's talking about, like, every step he takes as it grows and grows and grows. And he's like, by the time I step in the ring, I'm a god. And you're just like, oh, shit, that guy is dead. No wonder all these motherfuckers got knocked out in one round against Mike Tyson.
And mentality has a lot to do with fighting.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
But yeah, just in the fact that the way he explained it, like for him, it was literally, I get up from the back, not ready, and by the time I hit the ring, you're dead. And it's like, what did you used to walk out to? What was Mike Tyson's walkout music? And it was nothing, and then it evolved to nothing with the sound of chains clanging in the background. You're like, is there anything more intimidating than that as walkout music? He's like, what are you coming out to? Nothing. Actually, you know what? Clang some chains around.
Someone drag some chains behind me. Yeah. Get some heads on some posts down this walkway, please.
Very much. But yeah, that's about what I've got for the main event in terms of.
I mean, I feel like this might be just a two rounder.
Yeah, like round. Like I said, I feel like again, perfect way to start that we break the format. Like we'll have like 3 talking points. Like screw it, just 2 this week. Well, this will never be. It'll never be consistent. It'll be 2, 3. We got 4 this week.
Yeah. 7.
Yeah, it's a spotlight 1 point episode. You know what I'm saying? Man,
just like everyone's having a card this weekend.
God. Man, I think there's a Bellator this weekend.
Bellator, glory.
Benson Henderson fighting this weekend?
Oh, I think he is, yes.
He's fighting Roger Huerta. Roger Huerta's been through the ringer, man.
Man, and continues to go. I don't know.
He's been on a bit of a winning streak lately, Roger Huerta. But it's been like, who knows against who knows guys, you know.
Yeah.
And Benson Henderson's looked a bit iffy as well, so. But Benson should win this.
Yeah, because he should still be good enough to beat almost everybody.
Man, I don't know.
I mean,
in Bellator.
In the world.
Definitely in Bellator. I don't know, though. He's looked so like a step down in his last few.
I mean, a lot of those guys have. Like, think about Pettis.
True.
Like, I don't know, were they fighting at a cut above and did they fall, or was it just always that and we thought it was more than it was? Is that a question you ever ask yourself? How much did I get sucked into the hype?
Oh. But there was all those other good fighters that were around. Like Frankie Edgar's excellent, although I thought he beat Benson Henderson. But they were close. They were close fights. You're like, well, Frankie's a small mate. Like, okay. And then you move to, Ben Henderson beat Nate.
Yeah, true.
And
he had some pretty dominant wins.
Yeah.
He
wrestled him for 5 rounds, which Nate wasn't happy about. He was pretty bummed about it, really.
Yeah, I love Nate.
Flipping him the bird and shit while he was getting taken down.
Man, Nate Diaz is what gives me hope to continue on with UFC. As long as he's in the UFC, I'm content. Because, man, he says some things that are highly unpopular for some reason that I totally agree with. And if I said them, people...
That was his... Did you hear his comment in all this week?
No.
Fucking tweeted at some point, like, you pussies can't even make it to war.
Yeah. Man, I love him.
Certainly, I love the way he thinks about it.
And, he's...
Both those brothers, man, the way they think about fighting, the way they see it, and at least like the way they communicate it and how I interpret it, I love it. I love
just it's what you see is what you get with those boys. Where it's like so.
It is, but it's also there's this.
Where so was it the other card where he tweeted like, oh, that's the second fight tonight where we've had winners get stretched out of the cage. Like how do you win a fight if you can't walk out of the cage? Yeah. And I'm like, man, I agree with that 100%. 100%.
One of them was a disqualification. So. Just
throw
that out there.
Yeah,
I give it to Hector. He's getting stretched out because of cheating.
Clean.
Stretching him out because he cheated.
Not like Dollaway heard the bell and then stopped defending.
No, I can't even remember. So, I remember how obviously he hit him.
Yeah, the 1-2. It was the 1-2. If
it
had just been a 1, he would have got away with it. But because it was a 1-2, it was like, nah, man, DQ.
Yeah, I hear you. But. Yeah, look, I just think their philosophy on it, Nick Diaz being at that press conference for the GSP fight years ago and talking about, you're selling wolf tickets. And we're all just like, what the fuck are wolf tickets? We want to go look it up. And it's like, yeah, it's a real thing, man. It's just it's like the boy who cried wolf. It's like you're selling bullshit. And you're like, oh, man, where did that come from? Like, I didn't know that.
Just old idioms.
Yeah, and that's, this beautiful, how to describe basically what a promoter is, but in this real revealing them as this cold, cunning kind of bad person. Like, yeah, man, you're out here selling wolf tickets to all these people, and you're just like, oh, Nick Diaz is just on this game, man. He knows this game like nobody knows it.
Man, he sees things on another level, that's for sure.
And his brother's got that too.
Oh man, it was one clip I watched of Nate talking about, I can't even remember what it was. But man, he was on point, man. He was eloquence, not the word, but
no.
The language he used was consistent, and the way he used it was to the point where I knew exactly what he was on about, man. And I was like, man, and conveying these ideas that I would never have had, I don't think, not in that particular way, without that particular way of describing it even. So, man, I was impressed with his, even though he's sometimes he sounds half retarded, man. I'll be honest.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely comes from a background where it's people with a classical education are not going to think that I sound correct. And, he's talking about ninja and people up and shit, and you're just like...
I dig it.
Yeah. You're just like, this is great. I just love this.
Yeah, just that, he's so one track. Yeah, man, this is the dude. He didn't change in all that time. Same dude.
No. Nick's even... he's the OG.
Man, I was sort of in the beginnings of the UFCs, I missed many things. I didn't have as much time for it.
Oh, it just, that's a fight, I think. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. And you should hope I win just because I'll make you watch it. But Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler.
I've probably seen it.
It's one of my favourite fights. It's in my top 10 favourite UFC fights of all time. It's pretty one-sided.
Yeah.
But it's just the surprise of it. Rogan and Goldberg are on commentary. and they're both talking like Nick Diaz wants. It's a young Rogan, so it's got that like you can tell it's like this is fucking years ago. He's got his voice is way different. Yeah. And he's like, Nick Diaz wants to get this to the ground. You know, he doesn't want to stand with Robbie Lawler. And that fight starts, and Nick Diaz, like, immediately is just arms out for the first time. You see him, like, nobody knew he was taunting motherfuckers like that. And that's the first time. It's just arms out. What, bitch? What, bitch? What? Fucking Robbie Lawler's like, what's going on here?
Is he allowed to do that? Can he call me bitch?
Man, like, at one point there, I think it's Mazzagatti. He's like the ref, and he's trying to get. He's like, Nick, don't fucking smack talk. And Nick Diaz is like, fuck you, bitch. What, bitch? Like, he ain't worried about that at all. And he's like, dude, this is amazing. And like Robbie Lawler gets so flustered by it that Nick fucks him up. And then they get into it goes into the second round, but you can see like, but at the end of the round, like Nick's still mouthing off at him, like you ain't got shit. And Robbie's just kind of like, what the fuck? Like, I've been rocked. I don't understand what's going on. This guy's supposed to try and take me down. And then, yeah, he knocks Robbie out cold with, like, a just reaching, like, counter left hook. Doesn't even look like there's that much on it. But just puts it on his chin, and Robbie just face plants like a fucking leaning tower of Pisa. Got its legs chopped out from under it or something. Oh, such a good fight.
Beautiful.
And just, yeah, you see the genesis, like, Nate fucking is there, like, young 19-year-old Nate Diaz, like, jumped in the cage and, like, celebrating with him afterwards, and just, like, man, the fucking ride these two boys are going to go on, like, dude.
Awesomeness. Just love it.
Crazy. But, yeah, just, no, that's all I got for round number one.
Man, wasn't that round number two?
No. I don't know how we got on to Nate Diaz by the end of it. I think we just like him.
Man, that could be the intermission.
Man, sure. Or even look, what have you got a fucking ridiculous for this week?
Man, not really. Nothing really happened.
Man, look, so we talked about it a little bit earlier, but just 3 pay-per-views this year. The defending champion falls out of all 3 fights. What other sport does this happen in? Not to mention we replaced them all.
Yeah.
With just random dudes who are like, yep, I'll do it. Like, Rockhold made sense. Because it was like, oh yeah, I'm going to get like a title shot here. Like, this is good for me. Not. In the end, he ended up getting like knocked out and then sort of sexually assaulted against the cage by Romero afterwards.
Great man.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Hashtag me too.
It's so good. Then you got like Frankie Edgar, right? Like we were all praising Frankie Edgar for his badassery a few weeks ago. Like, dude, what a boss Frankie Edgar is for stepping up, putting his guaranteed title shot on the line because, like, yeah, Brian Ortega took the easy gift. Like, yeah, he's gonna get this, but Frankie Edgar shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have taken that fight.
So who's Frankie Edgar in this fight? Is that Khabib?
Could be.
Does that mean you got to bet Max?
Or is he Yol? Is he going to sexually assault somebody? Which certainly is, that's his style. Hold you down against your will.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Maybe you shouldn't place bets based on these weird analogies.
No, probably not on this analogy. But that's mine, man. Just that MMA has not been able to put a pay-per-view main event together this year.
I mean, do you think that's just freakness, or do you think it has something to do with this, like, the constant pressure of getting cards out?
Man, there's that.
A lot of pressure on
the injury
fighters.
rate is just higher in MMA. It's just, I mean, it's obviously you're doing a lot of shit, but wrestlers don't get injured this often. Jiu-jitsu guys don't get injured this often. Boxers don't get injured this often. Kickboxers don't get injured this often. MMA fighters get injured all the fucking time.
It's a weird one.
Tripping over cables.
Yeah, you think your strength and conditioning would be enough for you to be able to withstand a cable trip?
Who knows? It's just weird. It's just, man, they seem more fragile. But again, they're doing everything. So I don't know. Maybe it's just more taxing on the body.
Just pushing themselves harder.
Yeah, they're redlining it all the time. I don't know. But it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Fucking ridiculous.
Indeed.
Can we just have a pay-per-view announced and then it happen?
It'd be nice.
What's Chicago? Can that happen?
Wit. Don't you fucking jinx wit.
I'd like to see him fight again.
No, that'll be the first one of the year that goes without a jinx. Will be Nunes Pennington, and we'll all shrug. This one happened. Yeah.
Oh,
Swell.
way to go against the flow.
Yeah. Was kind of hoping that Pennington would get injured and Ronda Rousey would do so badly at WrestleMania.
They send him back.
We'll give you $10 million to let Nunes kill you again. Yeah, alright, I'm into it.
Head movement.
Yeah, not even. Just dive for an ankle pick and then tap out if you don't get it. So bring the wrestling gimmick with you. Waving her off and shit. No! Poke her in the eyes. Well, she wouldn't even get a point deducted for the eye poke, so that's probably a good strategy.
It's a great strategy.
Yeah, go out there and see how much cheating you can get away with.
Where do the low blows stand in the ladies division? Can you do it? Are they allowed to do it?
No. I mean, I've never seen anyone go for like the straight punch.
Does it do anything? Is it like the strongest point on their body?
I think, come on, if you kicked a woman like right on the clitoris.
Yeah, but they got like a bone there though, right? And it's like coming off the pelvis like a point too. You might smash your foot to pieces.
You could, but I'm thinking about like, come on, the clitoris is a fairly sensitive area. I think.
Yeah, they can have cups and you can just not be able to.
Yeah. Don't know if you get the steel cup going, then you got the same problem that the men have got. But if they're not wearing cups, then that's where I'm like, you could do. I think you could put a woman down with a well placed kick.
Tear it off. Change the subject, quick. 2, 2, 3.
Round 2. Let's move on. Rose Namajunas. You did this. You did this to all of us.
I'm sorry.
Versus Joanna and look, our second section of the card, or our second section of the discussion this week, I've just called the rest.
Yeah.
And it's just what I'm interested in. I think the whole card is pretty good, but I've just tried to pick out the stuff that I think has consequences that are immediate, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So obviously,
what matters in the rankings?
Obviously, Rose, JJ. I don't know how much you want to talk about. I watched the first fight back again. And I'm constantly like, how? I mean, I'm willing to be wrong because I get women's MMA wrong all the time because it's just so inconsistent and weird. But who is thinking Joanna's the favorite for this? Like, she got destroyed.
I mean, I don't know. I went and watched a bunch of Rose's old fights and saw her weaknesses. And I'm like, okay.
She's also an always evolving fighter, though.
Yeah, I mean, but it's one of those fights. It's like if it goes to round 3, it's going to be pretty interesting, I think.
True.
And I don't think Rose does well under pressure. Like, that's
she
why she's
was
the
under
one.
all the pressure last time, though. Think about how well she handled that.
She wasn't getting lit up though.
Oh, I mean, in the fight, I don't know about that.
Yeah, not that. I mean, in the fight, like if you get her in a position where you're starting to do some damage to her, and she has to back up, she doesn't adjust well from there. I don't think. I think that's how Kovacevic beat her. It was like you just got her in some bad spots, and then Rose kind of panicked a bit, and then just couldn't really get back to the rhythm because she had a great first round, and Kovacevic took over.
Well, that's the thing as well, too, right? Like, first round Rose, very, very deadly. Like, most deadly fighter in the women's 115 division, easily.
And she doesn't carry that power into round 2 and 3. Maybe it would start around 2.
I was going to say, she handled Waterson, and that went for 3 rounds? And she beat the shit out of Paige Van Zandt, but, like, that's
Paige is tough, man.
Yeah.
I watched that fight as well.
That's a hard fight to watch, isn't it? Where you're just like, oh, look at this little girl get the crap kicked out of her.
For 20 minutes.
And that's it. Everyone's like, she's tough. And you're like, yeah, do you know what that compliment is saying, though? It's saying, I've got nothing positive to say about your skills.
You're getting the shit kicked out of you.
But boy, you are tough.
Yeah, how have you not stopped? How are you in the 5th round?
Yeah, because it's not like you've got any ideas. You must just be sitting there the whole time thinking like, oh man, this sucks.
Maybe I'll wait. Like I'm bleeding from my face and she's all over me. Ugh. Defend.
But yeah, look, I'm picking Rose pretty strongly coming into this. Like, okay, I'm just gonna base all this off the last fight, and the last fight was a walk.
Man, I was convinced of that a week ago, but now that I've seen more fights, I'm like, I'm a little bit swinging back to JJ.
Well,
I still picking Rose in my tips, but Man, I might just change it to JJ by decision because I can see Rose winning like 1 and 2, and then just starting to get tuned up a bit in round 3, and then just not being able to put anything, not getting it back on track from there. Like it just keeps going downhill, and then JJ takes the UD.
Maybe.
I can see that happening. Man, what I be really interested to see is the scrambles on the ground. If Rose can get into scrambles, then I think she's got a great chance of submitting her.
Because that's the other thing, right? It's like, we're not even, like, on the ground, Rose should handle her.
And get the finish.
Yeah. It's like, what happened last time? It's like, man, she didn't even need that shit.
Bang.
Just wiped her out, like,
I don't know.
Twice.
Can she get her down?
Does she need to? Is the other, like, last time she got her down with a punch.
Well, man, if I'm betting on by submission, then yeah. She needs to get her down.
You two need to collude on that in your own time.
Hey, Rose, honey, if you could submit JJ for me.
Just this look that she's giving you because you called her honey. And you're like, sweetie?
Scarlet?
Sugar?
Sunshine?
Buttercup?
No, probably not Buttercup. Well, although maybe.
She's seen the Princess Bride and she likes it. It's a possibility.
Yeah, she's got that like deep south kind of.
Yeah.
I could see her having like a.
Yeah, the first thing she said when she was asked, "How does it sound to be world champion?" She said, "It sounds like butter." It's like, yeah, man, she might be into being called Buttercup.
Buttercup. Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like anything could happen in that fight.
It's bad for JJ if she loses, right? Like, where does this fighter who was considered like the most dominant women's fighter since the immortal Ronda Rousey?
Well, what happens if she wins?
Man, she's back on track.
Is it another rematch?
Man, it depends. It would depend how it went, I think. But yeah, even not. I think you can do it again. There's not a ton going on in that division. Rose would be.
What division's Kovacevic in? Is that
same?
It? Is it?
Yeah, but she's fought Joanna already, so that's where it's like if Joanna wins, we're kind of like, yeah, let's do Rose again. Whereas if Rose wins, we're like, there's new contenders, Gedalia, fucking.
Man, Gedalia is pretty good.
Yeah, what's the other one? The one who got the crap, Andrade.
Torres, Tisha Torres.
Yeah, but no one wants to see her fight for the title.
Man, I want to see her fight Gedalia.
That's fun. Yeah.
It's just a random tidbit.
Yeah.
I think their styles would just make for a great fight.
Yeah, it'd be alright. Certainly, it'd be one of those, like, first round, can Tisha Torres wear this well enough to do enough in the next two?
Both got good hands for that division. Man, it'd be like, and they wouldn't be looking, they're point fighters, So they're going to stand there and go bang, bang, bang.
Not a point fighter.
Man, maybe I'm thinking of maybe I got the wrong chick in my head.
Man, who are you thinking of?
Man, another, like...
Gedalia's a beast.
She's got good stand-up, doesn't she?
Yeah, but she's a beast. She's a try and knock you out type of chick.
Yeah, that'll do.
Not a pointy type of chick. Andrade.
Oh, no, I don't mean in the, what's the chicks who key eyes?
Chukagian.
Yeah, you know how those chicks in the air punch?
Yeah, no,
I mean like in terms of their striking, it's actually like they're pretty.
But just the way, but the way you say like they're point fighters. Like I'm like, yeah, Tisha Torres is a point fighter. I agree with that completely. That bitch is out there trying to like score point. Like that's one punch, that's two punches, that's 3, 4, 5 punches.
3 in front, 4 in front.
Yeah, Claudia Gedalia
3 in
is
front.
like, man, it's just line up that chin and then sink you with power. Like when she fought Joanna, it was all like, man, can she do this in the first round or two? Otherwise, Joanna's going to fucking crush her. Which is what happened.
You get better after something like that happens to you, though.
Yeah, it happened to her twice, though.
Yeah, and now she's better. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's like, man, I'm just saying, like, the first time, she probably did better the first time. Man, it's all good. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Man, that division isn't that weak, I don't think. There's fights I'd watch there. And I complain about women's fighting a lot. And
it's certainly stronger than the other divisions. It's the strongest women's division. I'm happy to concede that.
Concession accepted.
Moving on to something I want to see.
Okay.
Ally Quinta versus Paul Felder is this weekend.
Man, knockout?
Who I don't even know. They could go the distance. These guys are excellent. This is an excellent fight.
Man, I'm into it.
It's right before that contender level. But if you're asking me, like, do I think either of these guys could beat Dustin Poirier? Like, yeah, absolutely. Like, they might lose as well, but I mean, Felder's coming off of Charles Oliveira and Stevie Ray and some guy called Alessandro Ricci. He sounds Italian and bad. So
Italians only got one good fighter. We all know that.
Yep, great Giorgio. But it's just, I mean, it's interesting. All last 3 Felder KOs, all elbows.
He's learned something new in his game.
Man, he's always been like more of a Muay Thai guy, but I think he's really getting good at it now. Like, where he's starting to plant him on dudes. And it's just one of those things where it's an attack that you probably don't train to defend as much as jabs and crosses and shit like that.
Man, and all elbows are stiff elbows.
Oh, yeah.
They hurt.
Yeah,
man.
and even if it's not stiff, it's like it's going to be slashing and cut you. Like, there's so much that can happen with him. But Al is coming off of, like, I had a look at he's coming off of, he knocked out Ross Pearson. He knocked out Joe Lozon. He had a split decision win over Masvidal, which is like, you didn't lose. You didn't get knocked out by Jorge Masvidal over 15 minutes. That's a win. I remember the fight, and I think I'm a bit of a Masvidal guy, and I think I was leaning his way a bit, but it was close. And then his last fight was he fucked Diego Sanchez up.
Oh no!
But he keeps having these breaks in between because he has this huge arguments with the UFC where he's like, yeah, these punks only pay me like 50 grand to fight. Fuck them. I'm gonna go be a real estate agent instead. And you're like, oh, okay, that's an interesting choice that Aloy Quinter's out there making. And he really is out there being a real estate agent. I don't know why they don't just give him more money. But they've given him more money, and now he's going to fight Paul Felder. And I'm into it, because I think this is the next step fight, yeah?
Well, whoever wins this gets to go into the big waters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think, so ever since Joe Rogan started talking about Paul Felder, a lot of people have been getting on the train. But slowly, it's been like, it hasn't been a pile-on. It's just been, more people are like, oh yeah, Felder. Oh yeah, Felder. And then, like, he hasn't really had the opportunity to prove it so much in the fact, except for the fact that, he could have lost it by now. He could have lost.
He lost the Cowboy, I think. I think he fought Cowboy.
That was a while ago, though, right?
Yeah. I don't even know if he was. He lost to someone. I can't remember who.
So, man, it is interesting. Definitely.
But yeah, I tend to favour Rage now a little bit.
Well, it's so hard. So in terms of like talking about this in a betting sense, it's because he doesn't fight very often. It's really hard to have an idea of his form, like what kind of conditions he's in, and man, it could be really good for him. Like, means he's well rested and very fresh, or it could mean that he's
rusty
and sloppy. Just weak. He could just be weak now.
But we do have the fact that he's had breaks before and he's looked good.
And smashed people. Yeah. Come back like a beast. So.
But yeah, it's an excellent fight though. And I'm all about it.
I mean, it's one of those fights that, and there's another fight on the main card that's like this as well, where if you're a betting guy and you don't bet on this fight, still watch it, because you don't need money invested in a fight like this for it to be good.
No. Is the other fight Moicano versus Cater?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the next fight that I'm like, this is awesome and has consequences.
Man, I'm so much more hyped for Moicano Cater than I am for what were we just talking about?
Ally Quinter.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, that's the young up and comers and stuff, but Ally Quinter's, he might be ready. Like, he might be ready for the step up. That's like when I saw his last few fights, I'm like, man, this kid's on it. We need to get him in there against good people, stat. Whereas these two, I'm like, man, yeah, I'm into this. Moicano, he hasn't fought though in almost a year.
Man,
and it was Ortega.
Man, good fight, great fight.
Yeah.
He didn't do badly.
Yeah.
Ortega has murdered everybody since then.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't beat everybody since then. He's murdered everybody since then.
Did he?
He got like
Cub was tuning him up on the feet.
Did you see the look on Cub's face when he got wrapped up?
Yes.
Just the fear and panic.
Absolutely.
And when he felt that squeeze, and he was like, "Oh my God, I'm dead."
Yeah, but on the feet, Cub. That's all I'm saying.
But even in that, we got to see Ortega's improvement to the point where I'm like, yeah, he can knock Frankie out. Give me that money.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, look, Moicano, Cater or Qatar, I don't know how you say it.
I've
Qatar.
heard more people say Cater.
Cater?
Calvin Cater.
The Boston finisher.
The boss who's had one finish in the last like 7 years.
Yeah, and it was his last fight.
And he's been pretty active too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this guy's decision king.
Yeah. Man, maybe finish means something different in Boston. That's why he prefixes it with
maybe
he's not just the finisher, he's the Boston finisher.
Yeah.
It's like
Finisher means you get to the end. And that's 15 minutes.
Man, another fight finished. Oh, I like it. Man, this dude's just had it explained to him wrong. That totally, mate. Yeah, Boston just do it stupidly. I can believe that. But man, because he's coming off of he beat Shane Burgess and then
good fight, right? But not a good fight in terms of betting because you don't see fights like that in the UFC where their lead legs are crossed.
Mm.
They're in boxing range.
Mm.
You don't see that. That's not going to happen in this fight.
Mm.
So it's interesting, but man, I'm into it.
Man, just even their opponents, like Moicano had a split over Stevens before the loss to Ortega. He beat Jeremy Stevens by split decision.
Yeah.
And then who the fuck did the finisher fight? Feely.
Yeah.
And
Decision in.
which like
And we've seen how good Feely is now when he fought
yeah.
Bermudez, and he won the decision, but he didn't win.
Yeah.
He did not win the fight. It was one of those robbery ones, yeah? Is that what happened? Am I remembering that correctly?
It was certainly a purse snatching. I don't know about a robbery. But, a pickpocketing.
Yeah, just a fair call.
Misdemeanor
Fair
shoplifting. But yeah, I get you. I see what you're saying. But man, look, I'm into it. I want to see it.
Man, I think Moicano can knock him out, and I also think he can submit him. Right, so I think he's got more paths to victory, and he's not the favourite. I'm like, man, I'm betting on that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm betting on that. Man, he throws with heat.
Mm.
And like Ortega was too long for him.
Mate, the finisher looked pretty good in that last one.
Man, I rewatched that fight just for shits and giggles.
He looked pretty good, right?
Man, it was a great fight. It's like, yeah, man, like you don't get to see these too often in the UFC, where they're just gonna stand there and just punch. Are they allowed to do this?
Oh, there's a great one with that. It's Steve Bosse versus somebody, where they just stand in front of each other and fucking try and kill each other for the whole 3 rounds. And like they're 205ers. They're just these like mid-level 205ers who just go out there and bleed for you for 15 minutes, and you're like, all right, I'm into this.
Is that the one where at the end, like they're both completely tired and it's ended like in the end of the 3rd round, and then they just try and kill each other some more? Like they just throw absolutely everything at it.
I believe so, yes.
And they're just like, yeah, man.
I wish I could remember the guy he fought's name.
Man, you talking about it, I'm like, yeah, man, I've seen that fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good one.
Man, what else is on there?
Man, well, look, before we
relevant.
get past, what do you think the winner of Moicano Cato gets? Because they move into the top 10 at featherweight, probably, right? You got Stevens Aldo is a thing that's probably happening.
Yeah.
So you're looking at
Who's just under that?
Frankie and Cub are fighting. Loser of that, maybe?
Man. Yeah, Cub. I can see Cub being a good fight for both of them. And I think Cub's beatable. I'm not a Cub guy. I like watching him fight.
Yeah, I have to see what happens when he fights Edgar. What if he beats Edgar?
Man, I think he's going to beat Edgar.
Depends. Depends all about how Edgar has recovered.
Man, Cub wants it so bad.
He does.
He wants it so bad.
Look, you're right. I don't think I've seen somebody who wants it that bad since Michael Bisping. And to be fair, he managed to fucking get there. So, but boy, I don't think Cub's gonna have it. Like, if Frankie is Frankie, if he's everything's good, Cub's fucked.
Man, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, bud.
Go back and watch the first fight where one man completely outskills the other man for the entirety of the fight.
Man, that's not what's gonna happen when they fight again.
Because old man Edgar might be old.
Man, might just be simply that. It might just be that.
That's how Cub wins it.
Cub wants it.
Yeah, man, I'm not.
He's
He won it last time though.
Yeah,
and
but
that got him nothing against.
yeah, but
Frankie.
it's not like he's diminished in any way. If anything, he's gone back and worked harder. He wants to get better. He wants to be the best.
I'm using the Bisping comparison, but
I'm not sure Bisping wanted to be the best. I think he just wanted the belt.
oh no, he wanted it, man. He was out there. He wanted that Anderson Silva fight for years.
He would fight every month if he had to get it. He's that kind of guy.
He wanted it bad. Like Cub can't have any illusions about being the best though.
No.
Cub's not the best. Not in the Max Holloway
Yeah, but
world.
he does have like a pretty big ego, if you ask me. Like
He's a good fighter.
I can see him thinking, I can't believe everybody doesn't recognize me as the best.
What about the time that guy whipped your ass? Fuck that guy.
That was had an off night. He's cheating.
Yeah, well, man, we'd have to go back and watch the tape.
There's a million ways you can convince yourself that, just look at Charlie Zelenov. And I'm not saying Cub Swanson is Charlie Zelenov.
Don't think Cub's in that territory.
But, man, it's really not that hard for your brain to pull some shit on your own brain.
Just the tape roll on UFC, that ticker tape sound, on UFC embedded. Cub Swanson's just in his basement, just punching a wall.
Yeah.
I'm a cyborg! You hear me, Frankie? I'm a cyborg!
Nicki Minaj!
Oh my God. Who's the other girl he's obsessed with? It was Nicki Minaj.
Beyonce?
Was it Beyonce?
I think it's Beyonce.
Hey, Beyonce, why aren't you returning my calls?
Look at my shoes I bought you. I bought you like $500 shoes.
Oh, there's nothing.
Stripper shoes.
Nothing as clean and pure and just uncreepy as buying a celebrity woman's shoes and making a vlog about it.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, Google Charlie Zelenov Troll Champion. It's about an hour, and it's
just
interesting.
Google Charlie Zelenov anything really, just to get you in. Charlie Zelenov Deontay Wilder. Charlie Zelenov, Floyd Mayweather. Was it
Senior?
Floyd Senior or was it Roger Mayweather?
It was
Just
Floyd Senior.
Okay, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Just,
Derek the Giant.
I don't even know. Just Charlie Zelenov's dad. I could watch a documentary on his dad.
Charlie Zelenov's top 5 losses.
Which, by the way, his record is 146. 49.
And
he's never been defeated. All his wins are by knockout.
Knocked out. He fought Deontay Wilder.
He knocked him out. Easy. Knocked him out easy.
He did land the first punch. As Deontay was entering the ring, remember? He had one leg on one side and one leg on the other. Charlie runs up and punches him.
Yep.
Deontay finishes stepping into the ring. Charlie jumps out the ring and runs out the door.
I win, right?
I can't believe he came back. Running out the door was the smartest thing he ever did.
Yeah. Awesome. Deontay whiffing that punch past his head.
Nearly takes his head off.
I don't think he's trying to miss. I don't know. I've watched it back, and sometimes I think he's like just letting him know, and other times I think he's just throwing that meat hook out there. And it's like maybe this kills him.
I think you'll see, because the way Charlie is, he's like a crab on his back, and he moves just enough that he doesn't die.
It's got that head movement. Charlie knows what to do.
Just instincts. Someone's trying to kill me. I need to be really.
Charlie Zelenov versus Edmund Tarverdian would be an amazing,
Man, I'd rather see him fight Husamar Pal Harris.
Oh no, you can't put Pal Harris in this. I was thinking about having an underground kumite of pretenders. You just put Pal Harris in it, who's just going to rip all their legs off.
Just man, he's like a troll.
Yeah,
lived under a bridge and shit.
I can't believe he lived under a bridge. This is the most ridiculous. It's not the most ridiculous.
I don't hate him anymore,
After the bridge story.
Yeah.
He got knocked out again a week ago. He fought a week ago.
He's too old now.
He gets KO all the time.
Yeah.
People know that leg lock's coming, and they do a little bit of prep time for it, and he gives up. If he doesn't get you in a leg lock, he's just, here comes the knockout. You're like, mate, this is that bridge living mentality you gotta get rid of. I
just want some chocolate.
It's not, I love it, it's part of me is it's the weirdest shit. I'm like, it's not even in the 5 weirdest things in MMA that Husamar Pal Harris really did live under a bridge. It's not even in the top 10. It's not Fallon Fox. We've got all sorts of weird
not
shit.
Fallon Fox.
You know? Crazy Horse. Everything that is Crazy Horse. And that's boiling him down to one topic. If I could have separate Crazy Horse incidents, there'd be multiples in the top 10. War Machine? I mean, the fact that he changed his name to War Machine, that's his real name.
Is it like Mr. Machine or Mr. War Machine?
I assume it has to, because he's in prison for aggravated assault. He ended up dating the porn star Christy Mack.
Yeah.
And he beat, she cheated on him or something, and he walked in on it and didn't react very well in that scenario. And now he's in jail. So I've got to assume, when they were reading the sentence, they had...
War Machine, I sentence you. 8 years, hard labour.
I think it'd be great if whenever you read his name, you couldn't help but, do it with pizzazz. You know what I mean? Would the defendant... War Machine! Please stand.
Smith, Johnson, Timothy, Jackson,
Yeah.
War Machine!
In the prison, just doing roll call. Oh, he changed his name to a Marvel character, though.
Yeah, man. Is there an Iron Man?
In fighting?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do they have tag teams? Are they going to have tag teams in
Tag
UFC?
team, man, there's definitely been... I mean, in Russia, they had knights. They
Yeah.
had guys out there in armor
Man,
with swords.
They got chess boxing.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I think Russia did have 2-on-2. I'm sure of it.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they had 2-on-2, but in an obstacle course.
No, I think it was just in a...
Shit's moving in the game.
Could you imagine the terror of being the guy who watches his mate get KO'd, and now you know it's you're doing all right, but then you just see your mate go down, and you're like, "Get up! Get the fuck up, man! I can't beat two guys."
Run over and kick him. Come on, man.
Start helping him. Try and confuse the other guy. I'm on your team.
Yeah, me and you get him now.
Then we settle it, and it's like pro wrestling.
And then at the end, they take their face off, and it's Arya Star.
Yes, that
go.
is how all fights should end.
I just did that. I apologise again.
And there was not enough running in septic water.
Yeah.
But there's got to be that. You've got to get stabbed and then jump into a river that's definitely even had shit put in it, and then run and parkour through a city, and then knock someone. This would be a great Russian MMA fight. And then have an MMA fight. In the dark. In the dark. That's how that episode ends.
And then play checkers.
Yeah.
In the dark.
Yeah. Glowing checkers, maybe? You gotta have some. You gotta be able to see the checkers.
No, man, you have to feel the checkers.
Nah.
You have to remember where the checkers are.
Yeah, that makes sense. How do we get to Game of Thrones?
I'm sorry.
This
is my fault.
Well, he's got a Game of Thrones sounding name, so I'm happy to move on to Zabit Magomed Sharapov. I know his name.
Magomed Sharipov?
Yep. Just Zabit.
Zabit.
Yeah, he's in Khabib territory.
You can't expect me to know how to pronounce all these words. Have you seen
I can
how
do it.
Joanna's last name is spelled?
Jacek.
Yedrzejczyk.
Jacek.
Yedrzejczyk.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I know Magomed Sharapov. I learned that.
Yeah, but is that how they say it in Dagestan?
Oh, he probably just says Zabit.
Everyone's like, Russia's like, where the fuck's Dagestan? Dagestan.
Even just...
You know what I mean?
You know, it's 11-year-old. They're like, do you mean Dag? The guest?
Yeah.
Is it? What are you guys saying?
They don't say it the way we say it. That's
There's
for
no
sure.
D in it. It's like, do you mean Jagistan?
You know, in Japan, they don't call it Japan.
No,
You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
that was a Patrice joke though that I always go back to, where he's like, I'm so arrogant, I call other people foreigners in their country. Why don't you foreigners learn how to speak English in the middle of Japan? You're like, yeah, man, I feel that. I know exactly what that is. Why can't this entire world accommodate me right at this moment? But Zabit is fighting. He's back.
Bochniak.
Fighting the highly dismissed Kyle Bochniak. You want to talk about betting, man. That's the only odds that I really looked at.
7-1.
7-1 Kyle Bochniak is paying. Did we not learn from Paul Craig?
How many fighters are in a fight?
In this one,
There's two, right?
there certainly should be just two.
There's just two fights.
Yeah.
So 7-1.
7-1 on a guy who's 2-2 in the UFC.
What's the other guy paying? Is he paying like 3-1? And I just bet on both of them.
Yeah, right. Like maybe these guys.
This
are
seems wrong.
But man, he's. I've seen Kyle Bochniak fight.
Well, then this is the difference because you said like it's like Paul Craig.
Yeah.
Right? Man, I don't think this is like that.
Yeah, that was a coin flip in the dark, which is where I was like, I don't know where everyone's getting this 6-1 on, because neither of these guys are anything. Whereas, yeah, you're right. Look, this one, Zabit is the real thing.
I mean, I've seen so many people say that I'm scared now because everybody's wrong most of the time.
The real
That's
thing.
just a fact.
The real thing doesn't mean that he might not be ready, though. Like that this is a test that he might not be up for. Even if he is up for it, like.
Because who was
what
his
if he has
last
a bad
fight?
day?
Shaman Murray?
Some guy who sucks.
Yeah,
That's
Shaman's
who all his fights have been against. And that's why I don't understand how you can make him such a big favourite.
Yeah.
Didn't he fight that guy who was on Dana White's Contender Series?
Shaman Murray, I think, was the last dude he
That
fought.
wasn't the guy on the Contender Series, though.
Before that, he fought someone else.
Oh, God.
But even like Bochniak's coming off a win of Brandon Davis.
Yes, that's the fight we watched.
And Brandon Davis is he's got a little bit of hype too because he won his last fight against some other newcomer, I think. There's been so many newcomers. It's hard to keep track
Half
of
of
them.
them are newcomers these days.
Yeah, anyone can join the UFC as long as you haven't had a fight in there yet.
Yeah. What do you mean
Yeah.
offline? How dare this cheap-ass phone?
So, I mean, I can definitely see that Wozniak's he's not just gonna get pushed over. He's not gonna get rolled over. He's not gonna get stepped on. And if he does, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Like, man, have you seen the like Tapology forums where they're like, man, Zabit by jump off the cage, leg kick into dust. Just some craziness. Yeah, man. Like.
Mike Santiago was
yeah.
the Contender Series guy.
And Santiago lost to Mads Bernal
Yeah.
in his last fight.
Yeah.
And so...
Which again, you're like, okay, like, yeah, Zabit he's doing what he should do. He's finishing these guys, he's looking good, he's doing cool stuff. But he's fighting nobodies. Like, Kyle Bochniak is hardly like the #1 contender. I'm not trying to present him as such, but I'm like, man, he's tough. This kid is tough. He's going to show up to fight for 3 goddamn rounds. I'll be pretty surprised if he wilts. Like if he backs down and he's like, oh shit, I'm scared of this guy sort of thing. Like I think he's going to go out there and be like, ah, fuck this guy. I'll put my head down and go to work.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, man, Zabit, if he's had an off day, if he's a bit sick, if he's just not taking this guy as seriously as he should
just
be.
too used to fighting the wrong caliber.
Yeah. He could get caught slipping by this guy. He should beat him. But 7-1? No. Way wrong. You want to bet, man. That's a good bet.
Man, if you get that bet 7 times, you get your money back.
Yeah, if they fight 7 times, man, I feel like Bochniak will find a way somewhere in there.
Man, you'll probably make money.
I would say so.
Man, I'll have a look at it.
But that's it. That's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, because there's other fights on the card that are probably conversation worthy, but we can have that conversation next week, I think, once we've seen how it goes. Well, Bruce Leroy, see what happens there.
Yeah, fighting the GOAT,
So
the great man, the Irish-Russian.
Artem Lobov.
Mm-hmm. He got into it with Khabib, did you see that? They got into a fucking argument in a bloody hotel hallway, filmed by Michael Chiesa's coach, which I like. Just again, all the MMA, they're all staying in the same hotel because MMA is stupid and weird. And yeah, Khabib's out there, where is your Burger King champion friend? Artem's, don't you talk about Burger King friend of mine. It's just like, this is so weird. Why is that Russian guy siding with the Irish guy? And also you're like, Artem, don't do it, mate. Like, this guy will kill you.
Yeah, man, I don't really care for the sideshow antics.
Oh, look, in fight week, it's all a bit of fun because they're all cutting weight and it's real. These are pissed off guys who have been shoved in the same sort of area together And now they're all mouthing off at each other, and it's kind of great because you're like, yeah, man, this is the male equivalent of like that time of the month, right? Where it's just
it's
say
exactly
the wrong thing to me, motherfucker. In fact, say anything but the exact right thing, and I'm gonna lose my shit at you.
See this glass of water? Smash!
Yeah, do you know why I did that? Because I'm not allowed to drink any water right now. Yeah, this dude is worked up. Shit.
Yeah, what else was on there? Kovacevic is fighting.
Kovacevic is fighting Felice Herrig.
Beck Rawlings is fighting.
Oh, don't bring that
Man,
up.
we just got to get them out of the way.
No, that one's not happening, okay? There's a designated bathroom break on the prelims, everybody. Enjoy it. Joe Lozon's fighting. The Grits? Chris Grutzmarker?
Grutzenmarker?
Something like that, I don't know.
Man, I don't know. I've seen people tip Grits in that fight. I'm just like...
Man, sure. I have no clue. Don't know anything about him.
No,
Chiesa's fighting Pettis.
Man, interesting. Not top of the table moving. So...
It's interesting, because it's like, alright, Chiesa's coming off the loss to Kevin Lee, which was a bit weird. But, you know, he lost. He was fucked. And then the fall of Anthony Pettis. Does it get stemmed?
Man, now we're back to the start of the podcast where I'm just in this low again, where I'm just remembering the fall of Anthony Pettis, and it's just sunk me back into.
Do you remember?
Guess what?
You remember seeing him on those Wheaties boxes? And you're like, this guy's going to beat everybody. Then just Rafael dos Anjos just like swinging him around a cage for 25 minutes, like, give me that belt.
RDA Carlington? Oh, we spoke about that last week.
No, that's next week too. That's not this week. Well, no, it's not next week. It's many weeks away.
Yeah, because we get another break again after this.
No. The Fox card is next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Gaethje Poirier.
Hey.
Yeah. 14.
But no brown condit.
No. Condit, other cowboy. Brazilian cowboy.
Charles Oliveira.
Some sort of cowboy, indeed. But that's about what I got for this week. I'm trying to think. Is there something else
I'm happy with that.
On the show open, or?
Man, if anything, you want to close talking about Anthony Joshua or the Glory 51.
52? Was it Glory 52, I think?
Maybe it was 52. We're in the 50s now with the Glory.
Look, Van Roosmalen did it easy.
With the light heavyweight.
Yeah, we watched the Super Fight Series card. It was alright. It was fun, right? It's always fun.
Man, I was enjoying that fight so much because I just came in cold, and it's two of the best light heavyweights going at it in kickboxing, and I was just like, this is so good.
I don't know,
It was like drinking instant coffee and then going to a coffee shop and getting a real coffee and just going, oh my god.
It's exactly the thing that I was telling you about last week, where you're like, in the break, you start watching some kickboxing, and you're like, oh, kickboxing.
But I didn't even do it. So I was just having a break. I'm like, man, no fighting. I'm not watching it. And then
I was like, no, I'm watching kickboxing, bitch.
I just fell into it, and then because
you just see it,
the shock of it all as well.
Just like I said, dude, go watch some Sidichai tape. You'll be glued to it. You won't be able to stop. You'll be like, look how good he is. Look at this technique. God, I'm missing this in my life. I don't understand why it's more popular. It should be more popular. I don't know if I forget who won the UFC guy.
Who won the UFC guy?
The Glory fight with the UFC guy in it.
Oh, Carmozzi.
Yes, Chris Camozzi. Sorry, Chris Camozzi. Apologies.
Man, I don't know what happened either. I had things on.
No, well, we missed the main card because Fight Pass only has the Super Fight Series.
Oh, we would have to go to Glory to buy the...
Yeah. We couldn't find any kind of way to view it.
Man, they're pretty cheap though, the Glory cards.
They can be. When Banner Harry's fighting on them, they bump the price a little bit.
Understandably.
No, look, I'm not going to blame him. Kickboxing record, how'd he go? It does not say. It only has his fight from a few months ago.
Yeah, maybe he tripped over a cable.
Who could rule it out at this point?
Spotlight fell on his head.
Yep. God damn it, now I'm blanking out. So you had to bring up Glory. Now we're just fizzling out here at the end.
Well, man, I mean, we can talk about my misery for a moment here then while you're looking up.
What's your misery?
My misery was, You told me to bet on Anthony Joshua by decision,
I did tell you to bet on Anthony Joshua by decision.
and I bet on Anthony Joshua by knockout.
That's wrong.
Now, the odds on decision were much, much, much better. And the bet I had was a bet that was quite large for me. It was a larger bet, on the larger end. And that
He
hurt
lost the
me.
unanimous decision.
That hurt me in the pants.
Well, how many units did you bet
Oh,
in your imperial
12?
unit system? 12 units.
Man, I got them all back. I bet on some horses. It's fine.
All right.
I got all the money back.
Mate, we're Australian, all right? It's ponies.
Whatever. Yeah, I found some great value and I made some money. So,
Because I remember that, yeah, I told you the bet, like...
but that hurt me. Like, that would have put me up a good chunk.
Yeah, if you bet on what I told you about.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, I think I only bet like $5 on it or something, like very little.
Just to stay interested.
Yeah, I think
Just so
it was
look
all
up
I
the
had
results.
left in my account when I made the bet like 3 months ago or something because I thought it would change. I was like, oh, Joshua by points is paying $5.50. Like, that's wrong. Like, his last 2 fights have gone to the 10th round to the 11th round, and he's fighting a guy who's never been knocked down. Like, this is going to go the stretch, or he's going to get KO'd. So I'll put an offset bet on Joe Parker by KO, which was paying 9-1, which didn't happen. But, like, he never hurt it. There was never a moment in that fight where it looked like someone was going to get knocked out. And you knew Joshua was going to win the decision. This fucking crowd was going mental every time he threw a punch. Yeah, right. This was in front of 80,000 people in Wales. Like, pretty sure we're going to go with the guy who's British.
Unless there's a knockout.
Yeah.
Hey, man, good to see a Kiwi on there.
Man, it was. They've fought for the heavyweight title once or twice. They fight for it more often than we fight for it. When was the last time an Australian fought for the heavyweight championship, right? Never.
Man.
Let alone won one.
Don't get me started. You know, this is my year to puff up like a peacock and go, look at all our Australian talent.
Not in heavyweight boxing.
Man, not in boxing though, but in like martial arts in general.
Man, we got some boxers. We got Kostya Zoo's boy coming up, Tim Zoo.
Yeah.
He's all right.
And we got the Hornet.
Mate, you're not a Hornet.
He's got
man.
a belt.
He's beat Manny Pacquiao.
Didn't he get another belt?
He might have. He beat someone else. He knocked that guy out too, so you can't complain about that one. Put that guy away.
Yeah, it would have been much more entertaining than the Pacquiao fight.
Look, you just hating. Every Australian
that
loves
was
that
terrible.
fight. We all love it.
I was in pain watching that fight. It was so bad. I hated it. I still hate it. I hate talking about it.
I actually think this is a good way for our first episode to end. Just, how did it end? They just started arguing about other sports that weren't MMA.
Yeah.
Jeff Horn and shit, and Glory. Man, it works. Man,
Talk about the Cavs. And
That
how
would be-
shit LeBron is.
man, that would be a short conversation. I'd look at you and be like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Michael Jordan's good, right? Like,
I stopped betting on the NBA. It wasn't working
you
out for
were
me.
not good at betting on NBA, as I recall.
Yeah. Stick to what you're good at.
Yeah, which in my case would be close my eyes and hope for the best. It's about how I make my bets.
Yeah. Alright. So, we're at about time now, so...
We're out about time. I do have my interim champ of the week, which is obviously the possible double champ in less than a week. It's Max Holloway coming to save us. Think about another sport, okay? Triple G Canelo got cancelled this week too. Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
We can't ever have nice things. But do you see like some world-class champion boxer like being like, I'll fight Triple G? When's that? In a few weeks? Oh, sign me right up for that. Like, cut it down to a week and go find me a boxer.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Is the plane sold out?
Yeah, I'll fight the most, like, feared man in boxing. Let's get on that shit. Like, I'd be stunned if they can find a real opponent for Triple G. They're either going to have to delay this thing, just cancel it and have him fight once Canelo's good to go. Stopped eating Mexican steroid meat, whatever the fuck that is. Can't believe that's a real thing.
I accidentally steroided again.
Man, how do you do it?
Is it?
Do you put the plunger in your arm? Is that how it works?
You twist it, right?
But yeah, it doesn't happen. Our sport is so goddamn weird Yep, I'm just going to walk in on a week's notice and fight the most dangerous guy in this division.
I mean, it's pretty weird.
Just to save the card, because the show must go on, because this is a fucking circus.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not even to save the card. Like, can you remember the name of the chick who fought Cyborg?
Kunitskaya.
Oh, well. Man, I bet you there was people out there who would have been like going, what was that bitch's name?
Man, when you were like chick, I was like, oh crap, I was the one who fought Cyborg. I got it right before you got to the end of the sentence.
Man, you could hear me thinking it in my mind.
Yeah.
You stole the idea from me.
Man, oh god, I wish. I think I'd be sitting here talking to you if I could do that. Anyway,
yeah, thanks. Thanks, man. You're a real pal.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't use my gift against you, alright? I would be your friend.
I would be at the casino or something.
Yeah, using my gift against people with money, like a smart person. But yeah, I can't think of anything fantastic that happened in the last week other than Max Holloway came to save us.
There's like awesome people involved with UFC and the sport in general that, I think don't get any recognition or much and probably, deserve a bit of a spotlight now and then. But the main reason I think for this interim champ of the week little bit is there's so much negativity.
Man, it's certainly from me. Certainly from me. I'm filled with hatred and negativity.
And, that's just us, smoothing things and
no,
just get it out.
I like it as the last part. Like, it's a positive note to end on every time.
Yeah, and there's some really good stuff, and there's some great characters, and some really feel-good and positive things about it. And just this week, it happens to be Max Holloway saving the card.
Yeah.
And then, it's not
saving all of us, okay? Like, one of the top posts on Reddit MMA after Sunday's announcement was just that someone was just joking, but it got to like the top of Reddit MMA. It was just a picture of the suicide prevention hotline number. It's just like, yeah, man, this is what Max Holloway saved us from, okay? Because this is where we all were on Easter Sunday / April fucking Fool's Day. We're all staring at our computers, just they've taken it from us again.
No.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're looking at this card that was like, this is one of the best cards of the year. And you're like, fuck this piece of shit card.
Well, that was so. I remember saying to you, like, so now we get to know how much that fight was making us think how good this card was.
It's not a super card. Everyone was like, it's a mega card. It's like, no. It's just interesting. It's got a lot of interesting fights on it. Very few nothing fights. The Beck Rawlings fight is a nothing fight.
Yeah.
But like even Carolina versus Felice, that's matters to that division. That's an important fight for that division.
Yeah.
Pettis and Chiesa matters. You know what I mean? Like Lozon versus some guy kind of matters. We all kind of like Joe Lozon.
What about Not Bones versus Sanchez? Is it?
Oh come on! The curtain jerkers are going to be dog shit sometimes, but we've got 500 fucking people on the goddamn roster. We've got to chuck them somewhere. So I'm okay with you having 2 or 3 duds. That's, in the modern game, that's fine.
Yeah. Anything to get some life into the light heavyweight division. Because that's what they're at.
Oh, okay, sure.
So we've got Not Bones fighting at light heavy.
Is that a guy, this is the guy whose his nickname is Bones.
Uh-huh.
But he's not John Jones.
No, but he's a skinny, tall black guy who fights at light heavyweight.
Okay. Gotcha.
So,
do you know who
maybe Jones has cloned a dude and transplanted in there, and he's just like, fuck it, I'll cheat this way. I don't care.
Do you know who I'm looking forward to seeing fight again on this topic, in which we brought up?
Shapeshifter?
Well, in terms of not a fighter's nickname having the word "not" in it, and we were talking about Triple G, is not Triple G.
Gregor Gillespie.
Yeah, man.
Gregor the Gift Gillespie.
You know he's out there just fishing right now. Just thinking about who the next man to get killed by not Triple G will be. And also how he's going to cook up this bass for dinner.
He looked awesome in his last fight, I'll give you that.
He monstered that guy. Yeah. He was supposed to fight someone better, I think, right? And it was a short notice replacement, and he just fucked that guy up. Big, tall fucker.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a late replacement. But now we are rambling. Now we're talking about not Triple G. So
Yeah, but I knew what you were talking about.
No, yeah. That's, well, again,
I knew what you were talking about.
no, yeah. That's, well, again,
So this conversation can flow.
I feel like eventually people will catch on to our nicknames that we have for fighters. And, yeah.
I'm going with Khabibov for Nurmagomedov. I
Sure.
hate Nomi.
I'm fine with just Khabib. I'm okay with it.
I
You've made it longer.
I hate that his nickname is the Eagle. So I'm like, man, I have to make fun. If I don't like it,
I kind of like how
Khabib.
I kind of like how standard it is in certain ways. Like, what
Isn't
do we?
the Eagle American? Isn't that their thing?
No, I think his is like one of those Mongolian ones that like hunts wolves. I don't think he's got like the crappy endangered American one. Which that's where I'm like,
Stupid bald eagle.
yeah, I feel like in Dagestan they're like, what do we call greatest warrior? He is called Eagle. He's Eagle of Men. And you're just like, yeah, that's what Khabib out-wrestled everyone in his village when he was 6.
And the bears.
Yeah, and bear, yeah, even the man, that bear was just in the village at the time. And Khabib was like, well, he's here, I guess. You know, but, I don't know, it's not the worst nickname. I feel like, unless, again, like, they've all got it, like, Zabit ends up being that his nickname is just, like, the hawk, or, you know, the condor.
Feels a bit to me like the, generic, the Reaper of Whitaker.
A little bit.
Where it's like, the noun, but like...
But his is,
broad.
like, more... I can see it being, like, it's a little bit more... You know, like they've got this poster that behind him with an eagle on it and the Russian sickle and hammer and shit. And
we see Witt's got his logo now.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's got like a scythe on it and everything.
Yeah, yeah. But even then, I think he's also coming round to like
Bobby Knuckles.
It's Bobby Knuckles. That's what we all
Well,
like.
I mean, I heard him talk about it, and like it's basically comes down to you can't pick your nickname.
Yeah,
right?
and everyone's picked this for him.
And if you say I don't like it, then it's definitely your nickname.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't like it, and I was like, yeah, guess what, Bobby?
Man, you would think, being from Australia, you would know how this works.
So what needs to happen now? Because his logo I thought was pretty cool, man. I liked it. I was into it.
He can keep it.
Man, someone needs to come up with a Bobby Knuckles one that's better. Like, more cooler. And we no, it's Bobby Knuckles, man.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So crowdsource that shit. Get on it. Where's you, like, autistic, 4chan guys? Make
Man,
that...
that's a number one. Please don't challenge the 4chan people on our inaugural episode. I feel like if God help if any one of them
do something nice.
That's exactly that. You're just asking them to stab you.
Oh,
What? Don't even invoke them. Leave them be. Alright? You guys just do whatever. To a big company, probably.
keep trolling Shire. That shit is hilarious.
Just, I don't know, go after the Jenner family in some way, shape, or form.
No, don't. Stop. We stop giving them ideas. Cut.
Yeah, indeed.